ground is cracked and dry. The sunlight burns like fire. In a hollow, a giant creature is trapped in the black mud. Primitive humans surround it, eyes tense, breaths heavy. They do not know if it is an opportunity or a disaster. Crude spears are raised, flying through the air, thick with hot dust. Hissing, splashing mud, and roaring blend together. The mud spreads with blood. Heat rises in a haze. The hunt becomes the boundary between survival and extinction. The smell of mud, of blood, of fear merge into a heavy breath of the earth. Amid screams and rising dust, the giant beast gathers strength to break free from the mire. Primitive humans step back, holding their breath. A figure leaps from the ground, diving into danger. The spear pierces flesh, blood spurts in streams. The roar shakes the ground, the sound of bones breaking cracks sharply. The body collapses, soil and mud burst up like waves. Silence spreads. The last breath blends into the wind. Life and death intertwine in a single instant, leaving a cold emptiness in eyes still open. In the dark cave, a small flame flickers against the stone wall. When the primitive humans sit silent around the dying fire, thin smoke rising, mixing with the smell of ash. Their eyes fix on a small stone held by one who sits motionless. Red blood runs through fingers, dripping onto dry earth, merging with the firelight. No cries, only silence and heavy breathing. In those eyes, a faint will begins to form. Not revenge, but something deeper, something that makes this species begin to remember, to feel pain, to swear in silence. Between two massive cliffs, the primitive humans move into a place where no wind blows. The air is cold, thick with dampness and crumbled stone. They walk slowly, eyes probing every dark crevice. The crunch of gravel underfoot echoes like a warning. Every sense is heightened. The feeling of danger spreads through each breath. Then from above, sharp objects rain down like a storm. The hiss cuts through the air. The impacts sound dry and heavy. Earth, blood, and rock blend together. The canyon becomes the trap of death itself, where life trembles between walls of cold stone. Screams mix with the thunder of falling stones. The ground shakes, rocks explode in the dust, thick air. Primitive humans press against the cliff, trying to find gaps amid the deadly rain. Shards of stone slash through flesh. Blood mixes with grey smoke. The sound of ragged breaths and hoarse cries echo, then fade away. Every movement is a gamble with death. Amid the chaos, a few glances meet eyes no longer filled with fear, only the instinct to cling to fragile life beneath the roar of collapsing mountains. As the wooden spears bend and snap, a giant boulder begins to fall. The cliff roars, stone dust coils into a blinding storm. Screams and impacts merge into the sound of destruction. The primitive humans are swallowed by debris, bodies crushed in the cascading ruin. When the landslide stops, only shapes covered in soil and blood remain, gasping amid the ashes. In the dim light cutting through the smoke, a few lift their heads. They do not look back, but toward the rocky slope where the pale light calls them to keep surviving. On a barren slope, the ground burns beneath the harsh sunlight. The primitive humans hide at the edge of the low forest. Breaths short, sweat mixed with blood runs down their bodies. Above, the others stand still, waiting. Then stones begin to roll, the ground trembles. Massive rocks shatter, fragments rain down. The sound of impact and screams merge with grey dust. The group below curls inward, no way to run. Each falling rock descends like a judgment from the heavens. In the blinding light, only the trembling will to survive seeks an escape. While the heat still lingers, the eyes of the primitive humans stop at a cluster of thorny. Water, filled plants, thick stems, sharp spines glint golden in the sun. A moment of silence, a spark of awareness flashes. A stone blade slices through the plant's body. Sap oozes out, sticking to skin. The primitive humans watch, then begin to cut, tie, and bind. spiny panels joined with animal hide, vines, and tendons. The rasp of stone and the strain of rope blend with heavy breaths. From the material of the earth, they create a layer of protection, something to shield them, however briefly, from the danger ahead. Under the harsh white sun, the thorn shields form a crude dome. The primitive humans move as a single living mass, the sound of feet mingling with the scrape of animal hide. Stones rain down from the slope above, striking the layer of spines with a heavy thud. Sap and dust scatter, yet the line of shields advances. Each step is a trial between pain and will. Thorns, blood, and sweat merge into the color of survival. From afar, the moving mass looks like a scaled creature crawling up the rock and soil, slow, but relentless before destruction. At noon, the ground gleams like molten metal. Two tribes of primitive humans rush into each other. The sound of stone striking stone echoes between the cliffs. Bones crack, blood splashes onto the hardened earth. The smell of sap, smoke, and blood merge into a heavy air. Each swing is survival, each breath the edge of extinction. The weaker tribe retreats toward the barren pine forest, where dry leaves pile thick. No words, no vows, only the instinct to kill or be killed amid the searing heat of earth and sky. Amid the chaos, one falls against a resinous tree, his hand pressing into the thick, sticky sap. Light flashes on the axe blade about to strike, but in his eyes appears a vision of the past wind, fire, the burning forest, and figures fleeing in the crimson glow of the land. Fire is destruction, but also life. His gaze changes, breath quickens. The sap, covered hand gestures behind, toward the dry leaves and waiting wind. In the heart of battle, the thought of fire returns an ancient instinct awakening in his blood. A spark falls onto the dry leaves, hissing softly before bursting wide. The wind sweeps through, the fire spreads like a beast awakened. Pine resin ignites with a roar, trees blaze a bright orange. Heat surges, smoke swirls, the air itself tightens under the weight of flame. The primitive humans are surrounded within the circle of fire. Reflections of light flicker in their eyes, fear and despair intertwined. The sound of breaking bones and screams are swallowed by the roar. The whole forest becomes a sea of red fire. When the flames withdraw, only ash, smoke, and dust covered figures remain. The wrath of fire has erased every voice of the earth. After the great blaze, the land is nothing but ash and smoke. Trees are burned bare. The heat still lingers in the air. The primitive humans lie scattered, bodies scorched, breaths faint. All sound has vanished, leaving only hoarse coughs and falling ash. In the midst of the burned land, a small pool of water appears. Both groups see it, yet none dare approach. They know the pool is the last remnant of life. If they rush forward, the others will attack. All stand still, eyes fixed on one another, waiting for the first move. A frail, primitive man sits beside a small child barely breathing. He looks at the child, then at the pool, breathing heavily. He lays his weapon on the ground, showing he will not fight. Then he raises both empty hands forward and slowly stands. With each step, his feet sink into the ash. Across from him, the others keep their spears ready. No one speaks, but all eyes follow. His action is not only to seek water, but to see whether those before him still wish to kill. When the man kneels beside the pool, the other tribe still holds their spears. But the leader among them lowers his arm, signaling to drop weapons. No words are spoken, only understanding in their eyes. The frail man scoops water for the child to drink, then drinks himself. After that, others take turns approaching, one at a time, then stepping back. No one attacks, no one competes. Mid the ashes and smoke, both groups share the murky water. An exhaustion. Life itself makes enemies pause their killing and begin to grasp the meaning of coexistence. After the long night, ash covers the land. The two surviving groups of primitive humans sit on opposite sides of the water pool, watching each other in silence. They are exhausted, their bodies wounded, breaths weak. Before them lies the stone quarry, the place that once sparked war. No one moves forward, yet their eyes remain wary. In the stillness, every breath and the sound of falling ash can be heard. No more screams, only fatigue. All wait for a new sign not to fight, but to know whether life can still be shared amid the ashes. A primitive human stands, unarmed. He walks slowly into the space between the two groups, picks up a piece of charred wood, and bends over a large rock. He draws a straight line dividing the stone in two, then adds a wavy shape on his side. On the opposite side, the leader of the other group steps forward and draws a triangle in his hearth. Two figures on either side of the dividing line. No words, only gestures and looks. It is the first sign of an intent to stop killing a clear boundary, so both can survive. The Western tribesman removes a necklace of animal teeth from his neck and places it on his half of the rock. The Eastern leader takes off his flint tool and sets it on the opposite side. Two objects rest on either side of the blackened line, like an unspoken covenant. No words are exchanged, but the act shows an agreement to coexist. Then, the two groups turn away, each taking stone from their own side. They leave slowly, without looking back. Amid the ashes, the divided rock remains. The drawings and the teeth, and the flint stand as proof of the first peace among primitive humans.